What's going on, guys and gals? My name is Bryson from BCNS Games, and today we're doing something very different and a first for the channel. We're actually having an interview with a actual developer for a brand new game on Steam now called Until I Have You. And from there, I'll let the man introduce himself, Mr. James Spanos. James?
Alright, hello guys, my name is James Spanos, we've said that. I live in Greece and I make games for a living, and that's become a very common thing nowadays. I've worked on games such as Primoria, where I've coded the entire game. I've coded the interface for the cat lady. I've coded some parts. I've helped coded some parts for Downfall, and now I've designed and coded and wrote the music for Until I Have You, which is available for Windows and Linux. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Also with us, we have an actual voice actor for the current game Until I Have You, and our own individual private series Into the Rift, Miss Olivia Johnson.
Yo, what's up? This is Olivia.
Let's say clear your throat, Olive.
I'm Olivia. First off, hello. Yes, I voice a character in Until I Have You. I voice Emily, the wife of the protagonist. I also voice Annie and Ari on Into the Rift, and I do some gameplay stuff on BCNS Games, including a series coming out right now where Bryson and I ruin each other's friendships.
Not that we ever had one, but Olivia is also she's her own independent voice actor. Once again, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So, James, tell us about, from the very beginning, what started out with Until I Have You? How did it all begin? Like, who had the first idea of the game, and who connected who first got in touch with who?
Well, I had this idea for a long time. I've abandoned so many games before it, so it never came to be as a whole thing. So a lot of games that I've abandoned came to be Until I Have You. But the idea started past November, when there was a sort of 1 month, 1 game competition for an engine. So I had this idea that I would make a Strider kind of game. Strider is an old game. So I made a very god-awful thing that was controlled with the mouse, because I didn't want to check up how actual people with talent do things, with a keyboard and joystick. The game does offer joystick and keyboard, of course, because it would be retarded not to do that. So the guy, there's an artist I used to work with, and he saw that, and that was literally garbage, to put it mildly, and he said, let's make a game. So I had to come up with the entire game within a month, and we made the game on an adventure game engine, a platformer. And of course we didn't win because there were actual adventure games competing with us. But I said, I like this game. The game was initially built, the first 2 chapters that you actually play. That was the entire game. That's how it ended. And I thought, we could actually make this commercially. Make this a full-length game and, make it available commercially. So we went full on. We got a contract with Digital Tribe Games, our publisher, and we spent 1 year and 4 months, where I would compose, code, and design and make Easter eggs.
Holy hell! You had me kind of surprised. You said you started the game in November, and it's just now turning here in coming up on late April. I'm like, wow, this guy, you put in some work. 5 months. But then you mentioned something about a year and a half. That's the late night coding sessions.
Oh yeah, that would be impossible, I think, to do. We spent about 1 month per chapter, and it's 30 to 1 hour of gameplay. Usually, sometimes it's less. But I always wanted, to make a game that would be very diverse in its setting, and make a story that would start out as a very tropist kind of story, very easy to understand, and then actually, twist it as much as possible.
I want to know from you, what was the inspiration behind, how'd you come up with the name Until I Have You as the title for the game itself? Was it a brainstorming session, or was it something that just came to you?
It was. I always wanted, to have those very inspired names that progressive bands, hipstery kind of bands use. And I was, browsing Imager.
Because that's always what's safe to do.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's what game designers do. They browse Imager until something strikes. And I was reading a bunch of texts between a son and a father during and after a shooting that came, a shooting incident in a school in the USA. And there was a line that there was a father. The father at one point wrote to his son. He said his son. He told his son, that he should send a message if he's okay every 10 minutes. And at one point, the son forgets, to send a message because, it's a weird situation to be in. So he sends a message that says, "I'm sorry," that he forgot to say, because the father said, "Why haven't you said anything? Are you okay?" And the son says, "I'm sorry, I forgot to send a message." And the father responds to that, and he says, "No, sorry. I am here and will be here until I have you."
So that's what.
And I found that very emotionally striking. So I checked up the comments and said, "God, please let me live in this world where the first top most rated comment is until I have you, because I will pick that name. I will pick that as a title." And it was, and I said yes, finally.
That's really cool.
So
and it's extremely related to the story of Until I Have You, the game.
Until he has his wife back. That's really emotional. Yeah. That's really emotional.
Yeah, and it works both ways, because it's also, because deep down, even if he's a delusional motherfucker,
that's your own character. That's your own character. You gotta have some love for your own character.
Nah. Of course I love him, but he's so self-centered as much as he could possibly be.
He can admit
that
it.
Deep down, he actually cares about Emily. Even though he's actually doing a vendetta thing instead of actually going and saving her.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. So, well, if
you heard it
if
here
I'm
first,
gonna...
guys. The artist is a fuckboy.
I mean, oh no.
You heard it here first, boys.
Olivia is one of your voice actors, as we mentioned before. You also have some serious A-class talent in this game.
It's A-class talent and then me.
And then Olivia pulling up the rear.
I think Olivia is misjudging herself.
Well, because you mentioned that I auditioned for different characters and ended up with the role of Emily. What other people did that? You mentioned another voice actress did that as well.
Yeah, Marisa Lenti actually had the same fortune. She voice acted for, okay, you voice acted for Oriana and Nina, because I remember how you said Nina. I think you said Nina in a weird kind of pronunciation.
I probably pronounced it weird.
Yeah, probably. But Marisa also voice acted for roles, but they were taken. And I was designing the apartment at the time, and I thought, holy shit, she's amazing. And then I checked her out, on my stalking websites.
Stalking websites.
As you do.
I meant IMDb. Sorry. And I realized that she worked on games of What Did I Games, that is the publisher of Primordia, and I was like, holy shit. And then I realized who she was, and I thought.
And then he was really like, holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, why is she even speaking to me?
That's amazing. You got someone like Marissa she's lended her voice talents to shows like Fairy Tail and One Piece and
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan. It doesn't get more impressive than that, James. You had someone who was at the very, very tippity top of the actress board.
That's crazy. There's Moika, who voices Nina, who is a Twitch streamer, and she's an otaku herself. Is that how you call women
Otaku?
that are very,
Yeah, I guess that's
that are
it.
very
We have a
fascinated
bunch of
with-
anime nerds in this.
That's more of Olivia's
yeah.
click.
Speaking of voice actors I didn't expect, you have Mr. Creepypasta
Here comes the
Jr.
fangasm. Here comes the fangasms.
How did
Creepypasta.
that come about?
I didn't realize who he was until I asked him, "How do you want to be credited?" And he kept, his sign was Junior, and so I didn't, realize who he was. And then when I realized, I was like, "Holy shit! Like, why do they even want to be a part of this game?" I don't know. Like, even I think the guy who's voicing. Wait, let me remember. The guy that's voicing Octavio, Ichi, and some of the talk show guys that appear in the TV. His name is Duffy Weber, and he's an amazing dude. And he was very passionate about it and wanted to be part of it. And he has voiced on Heroes of New Earth, where surprisingly Mark has actually wrote some of the descriptions of the game, the writer of Primordia.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also on Fruit Ninja Connect and some other, I think, something with Titans. I don't remember the game.
That's amazing.
But he has made he's a cool dude. I don't know how these people came to be in the same. Like, if I wanted to bring them together, they wouldn't be.
You couldn't ask for a better voice acting career.
And the guy that's doing the last boss, Kirov, he's a very famous what's his name? He's a film actor. Vincent Van Omen, I remembered. He's a Dutch actor from Netherlands. Yeah, that's why I said Dutch to begin with. And he's making full action movies, and I was like, how? And he sent me like two mails, and that's not diminishing, or I'm not bragging, but he sent me 2 mails, and he really wanted to be a part of this. I think the voice acting is the best it could be, really.
Actually, it's funny you mention Vincent, because I have played a game that he's in.
What game is that?
I'm pulling at you, and I looked him up on IMDb. I played Asylum, and I really liked it.
Oh, holy shit! He's in Asylum?
Yeah, he's in Asylum.
Oh shit! Wow. Okay, actually, I know that game.
Yeah.
Wait, he's in it. What?
He's in a game called Asylum. Yeah.
No, I know the game. But he's voice acting in that. Like,
yes, he is.
What is going on with this game?
It even gets bigger and bigger.
Until I Have You is just full of. It's like chock full of all these amazing actors, and it's an honor to be even tied in with any of them.
I know, but seriously, like, everyone is.
James is like, but why my game?
Material. It's starring material, and I'm like, I don't even know about them, and they probably think, instead of going like, he doesn't know me, he's an asshole. They think, okay, I'm famous, so he knows me. So he's such a big game designer. Oh my God, will I get this job?
Yeah.
Will I land this job?
You gotta play the big boy, James. You gotta play like, he doesn't know me, so he must be super famous. If I'm famous, he doesn't know me, he must be mega famous. Holy shit.
And I imagine like Marisa Lenti thinking, oh, I didn't get the part I wanted. Holy shit.
I guess I'll settle. This guy really must know what he's doing.
I'm just gonna fill my week with Attack on Titan dubs, I guess.
That'll make me
how awesome would that be, James? He's like, yeah, I wanted to record Until I Have You, but I didn't get the part, so I want to try out for Attack on Titan. That's like... Now, you mentioned about it took 1.5 years to make the game. Most people don't realize, let's talk more about like your work on the game itself. I believe it was you and one individual that actually, it's just the 2 of you that put the entire game together. Minus, of course, the voice actors. Unless you can apparently do 9 different voices yourself.
No, I can't even do one voice myself.
But it was just the 2 of you, right? It was you and somebody else?
Yeah, it was me and Andrea Ferrara. That, the game is very NES difficulty kind of wise. But he like he would spend so much time playing a single level, dying so many times. Then I would say, this is stupid. You died like 100 times, and he would say, "Oh no, it's okay. When I was a child, I used to play games where you died 3 times and it was game over. So this one doesn't have a game over, so I'm very fine with it."
This game is very, very forgiving for dying many times.
And you will die many times. You will die.
And every single time you'll laugh because there's no reason you should have died except for you missed a platform or the enemy apparently came out of nowhere even though it's sitting right there on the screen.
Well, that's the beauty about a game like this, and I really do like it. It's you die, but every time you die, you get that little bit farther, and you learn a little bit more about that map and that area, or how the enemies interact with you, or their patterns. And eventually, which after you will, like I said, you are going to die a lot, but eventually you do somehow scrape through either off blind luck, or you somehow develop skill when you actually beat the level. So, talking about, like, obviously everyone wants to, I mean, there's a lot of kids out there right now that are trying to come up. I want to make games when I get older. I'm in a university right now where there's a degree for game design. I see kids every day coding. They want to make a game and they want to get to your level right now. We can actually put a game on Steam for the first time and just put yourself out there. If you could give an advice to anyone out there that's currently listening about how to get started making a game or some kind of inspiration, what would it be towards someone? You need to inspire someone.
Be extra lucky.
Rip.
I think most people say, I put the effort and I believed in my dream and nobody else did, and it came out. But that's usually all the cases, whether they go right or they go wrong. For instance, I once told Not, the creator of Minecraft, on IRC, he was making the game and he was naming it at the point Terraformia or something stupid like that. And I saw the game and it felt stupid. I think Minecraft is still stupid to me. I don't get why it's so popular. But I told him I don't see his
James,
game
calm
going
down
nowhere.
now. You're gonna have half of YouTube angry at us here.
No,
come on, man.
I know, but it's the truth. I told him that I don't see his game going nowhere. But the thing is that I think with games that have any scope, you have to realize what your audience is, and that's the hardest bit. That's the hardest part when you make a game, and realize what your product is in the end. I mean, for example, not in develop games like Minecraft, but not exactly like Minecraft, not copies, but actual games that have the same scope, is that he made a huge bet that for his game to work, user content had to exist, and had to always be created. And that's a very, it's a double-edged knife. It can go both ways. But he made that bet and it worked out so greatly. For example, he could make that game now and nobody would care probably.
That's actually probably a good point. It came around the time where, Minecraft started out as...
There were people, that's the thing, there were people that, would go later and say, oh, Minecraft is such a good game, that were, saying to Not that he's, for example, his viewpoint algorithm, that when you see a far ahead in the game draws stuff, that the game objects, the squares,
right?
That was shit, and that game cannot work with such a shitty algorithm, And he didn't. That's the thing about Not. He realized that he wanted to make this game no matter what they told him, me and everyone included. And he succeeded. For example, let's take Undertale. Undertale has, holy shit, it has the worst graphical thing ever. Like.
It looks like a game of the 90s.
Fan will they'll defend it to the last breath. You play it for the story.
Yeah, no, exactly. I can fully admit this game is not the prettiest game.
Well, it looked like you could play the sucker on a Game Boy if you wanted to, but...
Oh, absolutely.
You could play that sucker on an Odyssey, and Odyssey didn't even have... it wasn't even a game console, but the thing is that if you take the idea that, everyone says about Unreal, it's like, you don't have to play it for the gameplay, it's a story. Every game out there says that. The thing is that in Undertale's story, it's true. And it was lucky because people that mattered, that have a huge effects and on public opinion, said that the game is actually very good and you can ignore the graphics. I think Untitled is an amazing game, and I'm glad to see that it got the attention it got.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I got the big three things are stick to your dreams no matter what somebody tells you about your game. Understand who your audience is and be able to make a game they're going to enjoy, and have a great and somewhat entertaining storyline.
I think the best bet you can make is just make something and stick to it.
Just practice.
I mean, if it doesn't work out, you'll understand why it doesn't work out.
That's good.
And sometimes you're just unlucky. I mean, Tim Schafer took him like 15 years to actually be, famous and rich as he is now.
So just make a game, even if it's not the best game. You're still getting experience and practice, and just keep on developing.
And eventually, if there is something good in your games, people will eventually see it.
Well, that's
so
awesome,
I'm curious, what is, in your opinion, your favorite part of developing these games?
Here we go.
Okay. Usually, most people say it's making the idea and bringing it into place. I love when something is complete and you just polish it over and over again, and you keep seeing things, new things, and stuff. I think that's what makes a game good, actually, because you can have any idea. I mean, no matter as good. I mean, for example, Undertale wasn't in the form it is now. It wasn't when it was originally created.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that what Toby Fox did is that he kept looking back to things, changing things, adjusting things, and that's the best part when you make a game. Realizing what can actually work. And there's a problem with that because you get so used to the game.
So, speaking towards games, you're a game developer. So, what is your favorite game? Like, is it your childhood game, modern game, what? Overall, if you had to choose one game.
Okay, if I would...
It's
a
big thing.
Okay, this is hard. Okay, I'm gonna go with 2 games, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm picking.
Right.
As a player, I think the best game I've played personally... 3 games, okay? 3 games. Okay.
They keep on getting big.
There is a game that is called Sleep is Death. It's not a very good game, but I think it has the best game title ever. I don't know, it's very intriguing and it's very amazing as a title. And
it's a better title than Until I Have You? Come on.
Wow, you really tried to make that joke and it just did not work.
Okay, you know what else doesn't work, Olive? Huh?
Okay, go ahead, lay it on me.
I'll keep the shit talking aside. Go ahead, James.
Alright, but I think it has the best title as a game. I think my favorite game from a design standpoint is Chrono Trigger. It's an SNES game. I played that 2012, so on an emulator, not when it was out. It's a 1994, I think, game. It has amazing music. It has a point where it's basically a scene that's so it's basically so very well designed that there are random events around you going on. Like, for example, there's a lady that has missed her dog, and you ignore that apparently because you don't care about someone losing their dog. There's a kid that has lost its balloon, and you don't care about that either. You can care, but I mean, as a player, I didn't care about that. And then at one point, you're getting, there's a trial against you, and they're saying that you're a horrible person, and they come and say, I had a problem with my dog, and you literally ignored me, so you're not a good person. And I like all these random events that you basically ignored, that were not brought to your attention. Like you have to do that because it was optional. They came into play, and I think and the game keeps doing that, and it has time travel, and it just struck me out, as a very amazing design. But my favorite game of all time is Monkey Island 2. I've played 40, 70 rounds of an adventure game.
2?
No, Monkey Island. Monkey Island.
Oh!
Monkey Island. 2, not the new ones. the thing is that it's a comedic game. You know, it trolls. It has George Lucas in it. It has references to Indiana Jones. It has jokes. The protagonist is a clumsy wannabe pirate. Yeah, but the thing is that it has that, but it also has a darkness because it plays a lot with the dark themes. And the second one was very dark and very bizarre in a way. And when Ron Gilbert left, they went very, that the theme changed to just, clumsy character and stuff. But I like that about 2 a lot, and has an amazing ending. One of the best, possibly. You should watch a Let's Play. Don't play the game, but you should watch a Let's Play. I think they even did the special remake version where it has voice acting even. So
the special edition came out in 2010, and I want to say it did have voice acting in it. It's a point and click style game. I actually have one memory of this game, and correct me if I'm wrong. There's a character in the game who I want to say is like a love interest to the main character, and she was like the governess of Booty Island or something, and I think that was a big selling point for me in this game.
Booty Island?
Booty Island, and I remember that's a thing that was in the game, right? That was something that drew me to the game. I was like, Booty Island, I want to know that.
Does she have the booty?
She probably does.
Elaine Marley, that's him. But she definitely has the booty.
She's the governess of it.
Yeah, the joke about the government, she always runs her own. So her campaign motto is, when there's only one candidate, there's only one choice.
Oh man, that brings back some good memories.
Oh yeah, that's a really good game. That's how I came to make adventure games, because that's the only adventure game I ever loved.
That's really
it's
cool.
A great game.
Yeah, it's a weird ass game. There's one part where you solve a puzzle, but you need a wrench, and you just use a monkey, so it's a monkey wrench. Badum tish incoming.
So James, have any ideas now that Until I Have You is now done? Any ideas about what you want to work on next?
No, I meant I wanted to make that not official.
Okay, let's make it non-official.
Non-official.
Just
nothing
to the wall.
Nothing to hold you here. Olivia,
the window to the wall.
Olivia, write this shit down.
Oh my god.
Well, I have the idea for a game, basically. It's not very... Well, the idea is still very on its very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna tell it to you because you guys sound nice, and I want to ask an opinion anyway. The name of the game, that's what I only know for sure. It's One of These Days. But
I like that.
Yeah, I know, it's a title.
He's like, yeah, I know you like it.
Of course you like it.
I made it. Of course.
I'm the best, Bryson. You should know.
Oh, you're right, James. You're right.
Not James, Mr. Spanos.
Oh,
let's not forget.
Sorry, Mr. Spanos. Mr. Sir. Sorry, Mr. Sir.
Alright, so basically what I wanted to do is make a, because Until I Have You is kind of frustrating, I wanted to diverge from that a bit. It's okay, it's a great game at what it is, and I think it couldn't be made better no matter how much I tried.
Mm-hmm.
I added checkpoints and stuff, but I wanted to do something that, it's been a frustration of mine to see games that offer choices. I want to do a game where everything, matters. And the premise of the game is because I like dark things, and dark things are what I'm good at, I guess. I want to do a story of a small, girl. Probably that's gonna be changeable, so you can change the gender of the protagonist, but only that. Where basically you are, depressed, and you have been taking medication, and you try to kill yourself, and this is very cliche so far. So basically, if you're a boy, your mom died. If you are a girl, your dad died.
Pull it on the heartstrings. The one. Nice.
Yeah, it's a Freudian thing. So let's say you're a girl, so it's easier for me to stop making pauses and actually explain. So you're a girl, your father died a year ago, you try to kill yourself because you feel sad because he's not there, and you're at this hospital, and you are on medication, and you are getting hallucinations from the medication, and this apparition that's going to be a very abstract thing appears to you and says that you can kill your feelings if you want, and it's going to give you 7 days to kill your feelings, right? Okay, and that's okay, and that's very cliche so far and stupid. But the thing is how... Yeah, let me carry on, it's going to make sense. But the thing is that each day you'll do actions, and he says that, he or she says, it, whatever, says that you have to feel each feeling before you kill it, right? So you're going to have to do actions that they determine, if you do love actions, that feeling is going to get points, right? So, and if you do happy actions, happy is going to go up. And if you do sad actions is going to go up. Sadness is going to go up. So it's 7 feelings, by the way. So in the meantime, you are, familiarized with your surroundings, your friends, etc. So at one point, on the end of each day, depending on these actions that are going to be somewhat forced, the game won't progress unless you do some events in it. So it's not gonna, wait for the time to pass. Depending on your actions, if you manage, to actually have a feeling that has more points than the other, so you've expressed love at that day, that feeling dies, and nobody in the universe can feel that thing. That's how you feel. That's not the case, but that's how you'll see the world. You'll see that everyone will be out of love, or out of happiness, or out of sadness. Imagine, the world existing without sadness, and that's nice. But if you don't, that's the best part, I think. But if you don't manage to do that, someone dies instead.
I like that. It's kind of a dark feel to it.
It's still a bit of a blur in my head. It may sound very stupid.
Oh, you gotta iron it out, but the idea sounds like it's there. It's something you can work with.
Yeah,
I would play the shit out of that game.
It sounds something I'd play.
I would play that.
I know it's
a lot.
It's something that I think, for example, personally, I would play something like that, and be very not caring about my friends, and the point of the point of the story is that you want to destroy the feelings, so you don't feel anything anymore, and you don't feel the sadness, and you don't feel, love. Love actions doesn't remind you that your father isn't there. Happy actions doesn't remind you that your father isn't there, and etc., etc. So you end up, having no feelings at all. But I would end up, on the first day killing a feeling, and then, for example, if I would see that someone in the game that I met died, I would be, holy shit, that happened. Like, for example, if mother dies on the first day, no matter how, indifferent of a player you are, you realize that, holy fuck, that happened. And I think that's very interesting. It's very early on, and I haven't, finalized the idea in my head. But I want to do something that affects things, For example, if sadness dies, or let's say something more realistic. For example, if fear dies, you could have a friend that has a crush on someone, is a big, what's the word for it? How can I put this? He's a big pussy about it. And
he's a little bitch about it.
Yeah, he's a little bit about it. And so if you destroy the element out of everyone, then he comes like this super guy that says like, did you want to go out? Or how you doing? Or I don't know how he would go. Depends on character that I haven't designed yet.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
That's pretty cool. He loses his fear, sees a girl across the street. I don't have anything to cross in the street. Walks across the street,
everyone
gets plowed by a car.
Yeah, or like, for example, sadness go away, and suddenly all the friends that were mourning the friend that you killed last night
just no longer care.
Yeah, they just no longer care. They're like, oh, he died. It's okay.
It happens.
Oh man, that could actually lead to stories being told in very different ways depending on the order in which you kill emotions.
Yeah.
I was about to say, how many endings are you planning on having for this game? Is it like 1 or 2, or is it gonna be like an Undertale where there's like 9?
I don't want to. That's the thing. I don't want to do 3 endings, because you could do like kill 7 feelings, so it's like, or 7 friends, and it's like the two opposites, and then somewhere in between it doesn't matter. I want to do something that affects them. That's what I haven't figured out yet.
Just pull like Until Dawn and have 800 endings.
Pull a fucking Game of Thrones.
That's a lot of work.
Pull a Game of Thrones, everybody dies.
Okay.
All right. Well, James, it was amazing. Do I overuse the word amazing? I'm pretty sure I used the word.
Amazing.
It was amazing to have you on the show and actually talk to us about your game. The game, as we've mentioned all throughout the video, is Until I Have You. It is on Steam and greenlit. There will be a description on the page or in the comment box below. You can actually pick up the game. Also, will be a link to James's page. Go and check him out and other works he's involved in. Also, I guess I'm obligated to throw Olive in there, so
you don't have to.
Her page will be linked in the description below. But we will be doing more stuff with James, hopefully with him, since he decides to grace us with his professional presence, and doing more Let's Plays, hopefully with his game, and then other crazy stuff. So look forward to that. But James, any final marks, any kind of final comments for anybody out there?
I think, all right, let's close with that, I guess. When I was making Until I Have You and someone rage quitted the game because it was super hard, I thought of the sequel, and it should start, with the artist, and he says, I'm over you, and then the game ends. Best sequel ever.
Best sequel. Can we have that confirmed?
Can't confirm. It's just
confirm.
It's a 10-second game for $15 on Steam.
Or
no,
$60.
DLC.
I'm gonna
DLC.
I'm over you.
As always, guys, my name is Bryson. We had the lovely Miss Olivia Johnson, and hopefully not the first and hopefully not the last time, Mr. James Spanos. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Sir. And we'll see you guys and gals in the next video. Roll the outro!